Right. Okay, Pambulem. I'll bring you a warm greetings. I mean, just get for attend something quickly, but I'll bring you a warm greetings from the TNN podcast. Today, on the 22nd of October 2024, the time I'm aside is 7:01. That's about almost exactly on time as we promised for kick off the program. The program very important as all other programs are. We want to make Family understand, say we appreciate the one that we continue for. Subscribe to the platform, like, follow the platform, very important. You know, Family, my name is Prince Emil Kuma, and we go through a critical juncture. It's not the first time. There have been many other watershed moments in our country throughout the past 50 years, if you like, 40 years, if you like. And within another critical stage in which political actors seem to be very disingenuous in their approach to issues of our time, where they define the very fabric of the society, the well-being of the society, which they profess for either represent or want for represent. Very important. Today, in continuation of a program we on the hold, which is about elections, the outcome of the elections, we trigger certain things, but on this occasion we want to talk about the opposition party and in leadership, in person of Dr. Samura Kamara, where in my own understanding still they occupy a position with the national executive. They say the time is up. So the question I want to ask, I go see just a few days ago, I believe 2 days ago, barely 48, 72 hours ago, we host on this very platform the publicity secretary of the All People's Congress. I mean, you may disagree with him, but the idea is there has to be respect for authority. So even though you may not like what he expressed or what he expressed, you not agree with him, but you therefore understand within an authority, and the same is applicable to the state. We not agree with every pronouncement being made by the state, actions being taken by the state, by the state rather, but if it is in conformity with the law, despite being disputable, then we therefore take them with a pinch of salt. But the bigger point here is, if we don't agree with certain things, the place where we go seek redress now the court, very important. We cannot take matters into our own hands, because why? We got to go against the law. We got to put ourselves in a difficult situation and position, and not only ourselves but others as well. And we've witnessed this many a times. So today, Fambulem, we already know what's in the situation. There's a lot ongoing. Dr. Samura Kamara, like I said from the beginning, appear to still occupy the position of leader stroke flag bearer of the party. But tell you no more how much confusion is still ongoing. There is still an argument ongoing between different sides of the story as to waiting at Dr. Samura Kamara in actual position. Some are saying that they don't relinquish the position of leadership a long time ago. Now, only the flag bearer position I still occupy because you therefore wait stay, the party go to convention and select a new flag bearer. But we go with the law and listen to waiting the current executive then they say, and we can look into run through and see whether waiting and they say is correct or not. That's something we can do, because there are terms of references. We can go back, to the constitution of the party, we say what is supposed to happen. However, today, based on all of what that happened with the embattled leader, still see him as a leader. And if you want to disagree with this, you go see say that the former deputy, Dr. Samura Kamara, in number 2 man at party hierarchy, be indicative of a few months ago, prior to the election, just after the election, what happened for the Honorable Cherno Ramadan Cherikoko Ba resigned in position as what? As deputy leader. Remember saying inability number 2. You see this thing there? They are common sense. They might not be straightforward as we want for sale, but they are common sense position. He resigned in position as number 2 man na the party where he and Dr. Samura been represent. So Dr. Samura was the number 1 man, the leader. Cherikoko was the number 2 man, the deputy leader. A few days ago, he resigned his post as deputy leader, going through the functions and the formality. So Dr. Samura Kamara, as I understand, still occupy a position. And even though the hierarchy, they come and say out actually straightforward as it's supposed to be, probably as a matter of respect and etc. But we hear it clearly that after 6 months, possibly don't really, where election results are announced, possibly don't relinquish in position. Okay? Dr. Samura has been extremely lucky, and based on the circumstances we exist in the country, contention of election results, and part of the argument is, well, if they say for resign, well, when they say election results not available, I don't know why people are saying that, because they are available, but then it is a contentious result, okay? But the way you can contest a contentious result is through the courts. You may not like the court, you may predict the outcome of the court, but you still have to utilize the mechanics of the court. So today, as you can see na the screen, we ask the question whether Dr. Samura Kamara is being treated fairly. This is a short program because we know we get Champions League. As you can see, I'm done with my Arsenal, the Gunners t-shirt. You see, I get me the cannon on my side for fire any potential enemy. Of course, I'm just joking. I don't mean that in a physical way. Yeah, I mean I'm in a different way. So you hear the question: is Dr. Samura Kamara being treated fairly? And when I say fairly, I didn't talk about outside the own party. I didn't talk about within the own party over the last couple of months. Do you think that Dr. Samura will bow out of the party leadership gracefully, at this time when there are many questions being asked as to why he still occupied the position, and other people and they say, well, it was still occupied. It is based on a set of rules, a set of laws, and that basis the act. So Pambulema, they ask you now, if you do have an opinion, don't hesitate to call the show and make your idea, your opinion, your view be known. So this is not the number way for call. You can call me on WhatsApp. Possibly you may call me from afar. I know say but people in us express interest on the program today. Even last minute to time, send me a reminder, are you coming on? So finally I'm on. So you can call me on WhatsApp and express your view, but try for make a short. And then you can also call me or message me on MSN. I also expect people to be very active in the comment section. So you can express your comment. We go highlight na the screen. If you want to remain anonymous, of course you will be protected. But the question here today is Dr. Samura Kamara being treated fairly? Is it time for Dr. Samura Kamara to step aside, to bow out gracefully? I mean, in a dignified way, with respect, he's giving so much to the country. Some of the things being thrown at him, he doesn't deserve. Well, remember something from Bulem, it's not politics. So probably we'll go first caller. Let's see who is this. Hello, you want to contribute to the program, sir? Good evening. Yeah. Thank you very much. I think I can say you want to contribute to the program.
Contribute to the program, and I will try for send a text as well later on.
Yeah, no worries at all. So you are live. If you can just say your name and who side you call from, the floor is all yours. Yeah.
What we did is people move on and stuff, but people preach.
Yeah.
Country is dead.
And you call from?
I'm calling from London.
Okay, yeah, James, go ahead, please.
Okay. my situation here is, it is a time when you know that the theater is over and the person comes back. You should know when to bow out before you actually get stuck. You see, life is not something that you keep going and going on. If you say this road here, no gateway, it's not junction, go either left or go right. He's a graceful man. We all applaud him. But it comes to a time when you say, well, this is it. Put a tambo bomb, powered like he said, gracefully. And this is what we're all looking forward to. Let's not lose the respect.
Yeah.
We wish him well, and maybe he'll find a better route, as he has always been professional. But before he can get a situation where people say they can't disrespect him and make him look stupid or foolish, let God help him. Let him go gracefully.
Okay, Mr. James, many thanks for your call. Really do appreciate it, and I think you've made such a great point where I believe it will resonate with a lot of people. Dr. Samura Kamara, indeed, like you say, is a dignified gentleman. He served this country, and one of the most distinguished, I would say publicly, I've said it privately, and I say it publicly, one of the most distinguished public servants of our times. Decades of public servant work towards this country. I mean, it has to end time. Thank you very much.
It could be rough sometimes, but we have to fix it.
Thank you. We'll never give up, sir. We're at the middle of the water. We'll continue for sweet. But I do really appreciate your call. Many thanks and have a good evening. Welcome. So Pambulem, we will talk about Dr. Samura Kamara today, and when I can see the topic or the subject matter on the screen, it says, is Dr. Samura Kamara being treated fairly? Do we collectively think that it is time for him to bow out? And the premise of their question there is on the basis of deep respect for the man. He has been one of the most distinguished public servants of our time. Decades of service to country and humanity, the people of Singapore. The records are there to speak for itself, so I'm not just making this up. So I am saying, based on waiting that happen now politically, and we understand we cannot politics, do you think that Dr. Samura Kamara is supposed to bow out now, and gracefully for that matter? Do you think that he's been treated fairly? The lines are open. The number is +44. If you call from abroad, +44. You omit the 0, 7740107250. I repeat, if you're calling from abroad, country code is +44 and omit the 0, 7740107250. It's the number to call. We'll pick up your call. We'll listen to what you have to say, but I think your view, opinion is very, very much needed at this particular point in time. Let me maybe say we all get national obligation towards the country and countrymen at such a critical juncture in our country where decisions have to be made. We people have to be seen as participating in the democracy, despite the difficulty. You see democracy in inverted commas because there are so many question marks. Now, some people then will say, well, electoral justice, which I'm not denying. Of course, I've said this many a times. The circumstances of the last elections, they remain questionable to this day. A result that was read that did not reflect the aims, the aspirations, the desires of the mass electorate of our people. Not at all. The results not even get any bearing for back and up. The idea is if you become a leader and nobody no question, then that's fine. But there are so many questions being raised as to the quality, the content, the independence, and the result in itself, the questions about the results. They are growing calls. 30 days over 1 year, from many quarters as to how the election commission and commissioner arrived at the result where you read. Don't you feel that there's an obligation on the part of these people to honor the request of a large section or spectrum of the electorate? Of course there is. And this is not my position. But having said that this is my position, not means they are the call for some violence in which people will be hurt, potentially killed, and will country destroy whatever is left. We've been through this before. I don't intend for us to go through this kind of violent way. There are many ways we can do it. Do you believe that we can organize civil disobedience? But this is not what we talk about today. We talk about Dr. Samura Kamara, who is currently the leader, as I understand, Flag Bearer 2023, still occupying these positions, and whether it is time for him to bow out gracefully, whether it is being treated fairly. So the line for call, the number for call is right now on the screen. You can also participate. Okay, music in the background. Yeah, okay. Many thanks for that. Probably that will disturb the background. Let's see whether I'm able to change the operation day. Hopefully I should. Yeah, hopefully I should. I think I've stopped the music in the background. No, normally when you flow in a monologue, you can want to get something, like soft notes in the background, and that attempt they not to make. But many thanks for bringing it to my attention. But like I say again, today, now the 22nd of October, 2024, the time on my side is 1918, 718. Then Prince Emil Kroma, this is the TNN podcast. We talk about whether Dr. Samura Wilson Kamara is being treated fairly by his own party, and whether it is time for him to bow out of the position which he currently occupies. And that has been made clear by the party's executive. And this has caused a division within the party. This I know, of course, because I'm in the annals of social media. I'm in groupings. I am friends and colleagues to many people who consider themselves either members, sympathizers, surrogates, or one way or the other of the party that I am speaking of. So, Fambulem, the lines are open. If you're not able for call, or for some reason you don't have for call, although your identity will be protected, you can also use the message room, and do messages. You can ask your question through messages so that we go together collectively, try for answer. So there's a lot again ongoing. Okay, there are a few messages coming, but I don't want to divert your attention from the phone. But use the live messages, please, like we can normally do, so that I not get for the focus here and there, even though I can multitask. But when they ask the question, is it time for Dr. Samura to bow out gracefully? I mean, there's a lot of this talk ongoing. Now it's about time for people to express those views publicly. You see, the Rikishi and Dabaru where they pass some of we is the problem, because we want to do shadow boxing. We want them at the shadows, and then they pull strings, and then they orchestrate, boku nonsense, where eventually can emerge into nothing. Some of the things then where they understand people and we are doubling down, not on the basis of our principal position of what happened on the day. That's election declarance day. Usai Kone declare the current president as the elected president of the country. No. My understanding of some people, as usual in politics, now people are working on go konani. People that we don't go konani. People that we don't go, and no one, go too far. Like talk about, like potentially for help a campaign, because campaigns are expensive. Election business, not expensive business. So all parties and candidates can need money, financial tools, logistics for help run their campaign. We can most likely help them for be successful. And so you will need people and we will can help for, fuel your campaign, for, grease the campaign, if you like. So people in the land, we can all come and grease their campaign. And they, of course, now reasons and they do that because it's almost like investment. You're hopefully going to reap some investment if things work in terms of appointments and things like that. So in this case, I don't know who, but I don't say potentially this nothing will happen because it can happen now all campaigns. And therefore, if that campaign did not win, there is potentially a problem in many respects because people are now, some people may not go trust, some people may not take ususu and therefore pay back and things like that. How do you pay back this thing you get? You can't struggle and you be so sure that it make you kind of invest. Not a bad thing per se because you believe in something, so you heap something there for help the campaign, for make a difference. But now that the campaign not win now, some people are hard to let go. Here lies the problem. It's hard to let go. So some of these very people could be the ones feeling or they provide, that stance, say we cannot let go. But the idea here is if you don't let go, so waiting you they expect because it's not a rerun. Because for a rerun, now your party now get for advocates that position there in terms of the hierarchy, the executives. But the executives are not saying that. Instead, they've taken a position where they don't make public. Because as I understand from an interview I get with the National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Sidiyaya Tunis, who was very eloquent on the day addressing the issues because Mr. been keen on understanding a few things, which I think say is set the record straight. It might not have been all the questions that I want to ask, because I'm a man full of questions. And with questions, them, they can be compounded. I can triple them, I can quadruple them. That's just the way I am. But so the time may not be enough. But he did address a lot of issues. So the issue about Dr. Samura relinquishing the position where he hold has been ongoing for a while, privately. Now that they come on the outside, it's indicative of waiting most of we don't suspect for quite a period of time. That all is not well. And it's out in the public. There's a public spat, supporters of both sides. Same party, but different, you have few different support. It's ongoing. Let's see. Few messages. Okay, we got a familiar name, Mr. George Orwell. If the executive of the APC forced Dr. Samura out of this party, they will pay there come 2028 because citizens will not trust them. Obviously, this is not Mr. Orwell's opinion. I don't know how informed this opinion is, or this is not just a common sense opinion, because yes, I will take it that Dr. Samura do have followership. And apart from the followership, you get some people and we feel very angry about waiting happen about this election. So then see Dr. Samura Kamara as some sort of a principal head of a movement where they try to look for justice. And in that sense, if the party now they undermine a man, one of theirs, where they look for justice, then obviously they will get, he will get their support. And anything we decide for do, basically, they will go along with him. So if you decide for leave, where I believe saying one of the things where Mr. Orwell, a regular participant on this platform, they intimate, then obviously they will go along with Dr. Samura. But the APC, in my own opinion, is a massive institution, very big. I'm not sure, whether it's going to splinter. I've seen groups or people, saying disintegration, which are quite charged and strong words. I don't know. I just express my own basic analysis based on the information, the data, statistics I get. Okay, but many thanks for that, Mr. Orwell. I wish you be called the program so we can have a back and forth. But this in itself, as highlighted on the platform screen, is enough for generates much more interest from people then, because it's a well-founded and strong opinion expressed there. Many, many thanks. But a time like 2028, 9 people in the beginning for gear towards, which makes a lot of sense. Let me see, Mr. Abubakar Siddiqui Mansari. Okay, good evening from Holland. We get fan base now, Holland. We always get people that will watch me from Holland. And Mr. Abubakar Siddiqui Mansari, I want to greet you very well. Very good friend of the platform. Mr. George Orwell again. This is what I'm saying. I want for longer engagement. You either call or express your view via the message line. If the APC executive allow BO to go away with this rigging, trust me, 2028 will be an easy ride for SLPP to win, rigging the elections again. I take a different view, Mr. Orwell, because the simple answer will be then APC will have to tolerate that again. Will the APC be prepared to tolerate that again? That's the simple answer. I could go on, providing ample evidence as to why it is almost an impossibility. Because yes, I understand what you try for express. It makes the thief brazen enough to try them again because the first away they can't thief, then get away with them, which means that there is a lapse and then we'll try to exploit that lapse again. But you can see the idea now that if there is a lapse and the first way they can't thief from, he adjusts that lapse there and say this is not going to happen again. This whole side this thief man may pass, and then they allow for pass there again, and even for project other places then where potentially could be exploited, say this is not going to happen. So this is down to the APC. But international guarantors don't come, Mr. Orwell. They don't come broker some sort of a roadmap for we for go forward. If you understand what happened on the inside, there were people on the inside we decide not to talk about rerun. So rerun was not on the agenda. This is something separate. There is a lot of technicalities, but the idea here is the party hierarchy say people can move on. I will be having William of the SRM, we represent a vast swath of the APC, how you call them, a media wing. We very much stay in touch with the grassroots and every corners hamlet of the party. He will be on the program soon, probably this weekend, and we will talk about this, okay? Legendary. Osamu in hype all now, social media, now the ground and nothing, okay? Not sure about this because I'm not well informed about the ground and nothing, but waiting, I do understand that there's a split even with the grassroots, that the grassroots, then they very much with Dr. Samura. But notwithstanding, and this is my point, I could be wrong and stand to be corrected, but from waiting at the garden at the ground or waiting make a common sense perspective now to speak from. So yes, my views can resonate with certain person, okay? Say where we not agree, like in this instance, whatever, we not go take them and what have you. But in an organization, in the end, common sense will prevail. The hierarchy or the executive, within the boundaries of the law, if they quote them and express them properly, will have to prevail. And people, the large part of people will follow. You will get people and we're very disgruntled, we will decide for breakaway from that. So very few years may go, but who knows? Other people in the come on the other side as well because they are not happy. But the first one is very connected, interconnected, interwoven into the entire fabric of the society. So, yeah, but many thanks for that expression. So George Orwell says, sorry, I'm at work, sir. Okay, I believe because he can't call, he's at work, but he could type. Many thanks for the information, Mr. Orwell. Legendary again, I guarantee what happens so will never happen to someone like Richard Conte. Osamu is not a leader. He is too docile. Docile, meaning too relaxed, too laid back, too, I don't want to say weak. But yes, the man is an architect of diplomacy, decency, and a gentleman, okay? Not meaning that a gentleman, cannot put up a fight, because like right now what he's doing is putting up a fight, but it's within his own party circle. But who knows again, maybe he's got men around him. When I say men, I mean generally human beings, because this could include women, because before somebody accused me of being a misogynist, we just encourage them and show them up, possibly. Because if this man, like what in Legendary described as docile, Mr. Dr. Samura go down, pull back circle, because in party ask and say, okay, enough is enough. We've been ongoing with this thing for the better part of over a year. So it's time, for take the back step now and begin for formulate policies, which is an expert in, and the record speaks, over 40 years of public service to nation, and help for carve out things with his experience, we will put the party in a better advantage for next time. because the infighting is not helpful. It only helps the other side, if you know what I mean. So docile, well, some people will disagree, but I guess the brother used them in a good sense, and it sounds to me like I'm a supporter of the party. And he probably see a sense weakness. And I say this again, why? From a position of common sense analysis within the brother at the project, he also mentioned a name. Now that make the juxtapose the name to Dr. Samura. So he said, Dr. Richard Conte. Dr. Richard Conte is known within party circles and outside for being a firebrand. And it's been said over and over that had it been him, I'm getting tongue-tied, if it had not been him, it would have been different. Because a long time ago, there were many things that were happening, and we had Dr. Richard Conte on this platform many a times. There are things that I disagree with him on, and there are many things that I do agree with him on. But we've had him on this platform many times, and I've taken on him, I've asked him the hard questions. Yes, he speaks as he walks the walk. Let's be honest. That's how I've gotten to know him. That sometimes, you want to have a conversation in the background. No, he's not interested. Prince, just bring the questions. I am here to answer those questions. And I've asked him the hardest questions I believe that I can ask, because sometimes when I'm asking these questions, it's because even myself, I am, sometimes in a kind of dilemma. There are things that I don't understand. There are things that are questionable. I suffer from moral quandary on a few things. And I like to set the record straight. And for my own soul, my own respite, my own well-being, I ask these questions so that I can be at peace. I find inner peace, that I understand where this person they come up from, whether I don't address them, and look for the next time somebody on the opposite for equally address them, and I find a middle ground. So yes, you see who side the brother they come up from, you see who side the analysis they come up from. So if you put these two gentlemen together, one is abrasive. We've seen it publicly. I think there was a convention, APC convention. I think they tried for stop him. The man is a big man, he's served in ministerial capacity, in senior ministerial capacity, yet you could see him almost like somebody who could pull his shirt and, just barging way into waiting he wants, and likely for a good cause. So yes, I do agree with you in certain respect, whereas Dr. Samura will be seen as the docile one. I think the man used the right language. I do like the language. In fact, the description, yes, I do. So Dr. Samura go wearing a suit, or probably a bow tie, a black, blazer, white shirt and black bow tie, looking very formal, the kind of dignitary, and all the time that's the way he will want to look. Not very regularly you see him outside of that kind of format. Whereas Dr. Conte, you see him almost in a combative mode. Sometimes the dress code also look like combative. The UN field jacket, so you're not getting camouflage and what have you, but it looks like a man on the field. You get my flow. So this is where I'm coming from. So let's see. A few people are commenting, which is good. I really do appreciate this, and we will flow everybody in comments. Remember, the lines are also open. Yeah, and the number to call is on the screen. So we get Mr. James Horton. It's a shame, though. He should have known that he was thrown in the middle of wolves who thought he was an outsider. I feel for him. He became knew what he did. Okay. Again, another perspective, and very interesting. And this is the thing about this kind of programs. When you put people together and everybody is expressing a view of their own, coming from different, same subject matter, but coming from a different perspective. And this is what I like. Okay. I don't know whether he was thrown in the middle of wolves. Certainly, in the political sense, you could say that these people were wolves. The people that have been now wolf them. Because then raw, then go eat up, something, and probably you won't even find the bone. Or better put, get rid of something. And we see that at play. The politics is gutter, is filthy. Okay. And I feel for him. I do feel for Dr. Samura as well, and this is the description I was trying to provide. He was always this articulate public administrator, public servant, who dedicated his time and services to the people of Sierra Leone, the country of Sierra Leone, working with international partners, at one point working for them in behalf of his country, and at some other point working with his government, the government of Sierra Leone, in tandem, in conjunction with international partners. So he's well respected abroad. He's been doing this work for like 40 years. He knows his stuff, financial matters. He was one time a diplomat, the highest diplomat in the country, Minister of Foreign Affairs. So yes, he's a man very clued on. Many thanks for that contribution, Mr. Horton. Right, we got Mr. Bangali Mansare Jr. He's watching all the way from Tottenham, and I can just kind of feel what's happening there now as he's watching, preparing for the Champions League game. That's Arsenal playing, I think, Shakhtar Donetsk. That's a team from Ukraine, I believe. So I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm looking forward to a victory tonight, and I don't see any reason why Arsenal should not take the 3 points home. And I'm donning proudly my Arsenal vest. I've got my cannon, just in case somebody, here wants to interfere with the victory tonight. We know what we will do. And all the Arsenal fans, I say big up, many respect. We got Konotri, who's becoming famous on this platform for his incessant contribution. What the F? Okay. So again, a fine way you start the word, but I bet, Mr. Konotri, you could use better words, to express the same word way you use so. But I respect the fact that you try for blow them off. Yeah, everybody know what you try for say. But on this platform, we expect that you use better words for express your feeling, regardless of how strong you would be. So it's a moral guarantor. So let me attempt to answer that question, because I know you know, but I've been watching your comments them, for the past number of shows that we'll be having. So I have an idea as to who side you come out from. So no need for me for break down moral guarantors. We just upset with them, because whilst it's almost like one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. That's what it looks like. In this case, the vast majority of Sierra Leoneans feel cheated. On the 24th of June, 2023. Results read does not reflect their view. The international community, which the opposition was relying on, came, and the outcome of it is different as expected or was expected by the people. These are just facts. But if you're a supporter of All People's Congress, you therefore look within. This is the point. You therefore look within, and there are many underlying factors, because you also help as a political party represent the people for deceive the people in many respects. Now, it makes somebody say this now, compare the two people, Dr. Samura Kamara and Dr. Richard Conte, it will have been a different ball game. I don't talk about this, and I will continue to talk about them over and over. Elections rigging is not on the day of elections. The process can start long after, before elections. Sometimes 4 years, 3 years. Sometimes as soon as that person, they take over power, they begin plan for the next election, how for winner through rigging. And this was no exception. This is exactly what happened. But it happened with the acquiescence of the All People's Congress. Remember the Public Elections Act of 2022? But if you look inside there, I will get forget that section they pasted on the table. We talk about the Electoral Commissioner, they under law for produce that disaggregated list when they like the evidence, when they in the whole. Now, best practice. So pull this disaggregated list for backup waiting, you say, is the result. How this man win? Polling station by polling station. Know what? The APC sign up to that. Cherry Coco, then the leader of parliament, inside parliament, a lawyer for that matter, he signed up to that. He agreed to a law where go disadvantage in party. You have to be a visionary for see before. And remember, these are the people that want to lead the country. If you can't see these things, How then you can lead 8 million people when you can't even defend them inside parliament? You feel my drift, brother. So this is exactly whose side they come up from. There was also the deletion of over 250,000 of voters from the voters registry. Guess whose side the bulk of them people and they come out? Now the North. What is the significance of the North in terms of electioneering or the configuration of a country where you come to elections? This is the stronghold of the opposition All People's Congress. 250,000 voters struck off the list. Struck off the list. And you allow that. You entertain that. Really? And then what also happened again? The issue of ID cards. 21st century, you get black and white ID card. You get card where they say identity card. Ebo, we don't need for go university, high school, or even elementary school for understand waiting at the meaning of ID card, identification card. Yet there were identification card for election purposes that could not identify the said owner. And then you allow that to pass. When they go print the ballot paper, then for the first term, they give the contracts to 2 different firms. Remember the Kuskas around earlier voting for president and etc., because people let me get for go Hajj. So they get one company, where they outsource the printing of ballot paper then to where I think that's some local company, and the other one are some East European country. And in terms of best practice, again, not alone best practice, the opposition has to be there for reasons of accountability and transparency. Opposition was not there. And they allow that to happen. Going on again, the tablets them where they bring can use for the elections were already pre-prepared. This not David Senge, na yon area this. Then tablet, then we come out Kenya. You want to tell me one all responsible opposition party such as the All People's Congress, not aware, not they penetrate inside, and they way me dormant now, they don't know I know this. Last year we get one caller. Hello, caller, you want to participate on the program?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. If you can just identify yourself quickly, and the floor is all yours, sir.
Right. It's now Bangladesh Masawe, calling from Tottenham.
Yeah, 5 please.
Right. The issue of the KPC, including Samura, na issue where any sensible Sierra Leoneans, any Sierra Leonean way reasonable and love democracy, they conclude say KPC failed the people. This is including Dr. Samura.
Yeah.
They failed the people because before the campaign, during the campaign, then they say that they protect the people and vote. Everybody they talk up. Dr. Samura talk up, Seniko talk up, all the APC big guns and they talk up with the protection of vote. Now under that ticket, the people then vote for a change. After they don't vote for a change, they don't sit there and protect them vote. Of course, anybody can argue the other way around. They don't keep the election. That's different. But how do they protect the people and vote even when they don't keep the election? Like a fight winner, a never-ending fight.
Yeah.
A fight winner need concerted effort. A fight we don't need division. A fight winner everybody patriotic Sierra Leonean will make this not ever happen again. Of course, we all know say there are loopholes where at the end they talk about say no law no the way tell the ECSL boss forgive disaggregated data. And this is under the NBC. They know about this, they never rectify them.
Correct.
They know. And now this thing can make them back. It's the same thing like when they teach them the best people there. They look at laws them when they know say their laws they had a company with them. They left them open. Invest them. But however, even when that happens, everybody will know say it's a keep election. Everybody in the community, everybody don't talk say Etifa. Even within the Sierra Leone people left. Etifa. So what is for do? Yeah. Not for divide. The division where they carry, they want blame one person, whether Dr. Samura. For us, we not take that blame because one person not able to dominate the whole party will get administrative head. The chairman is there. You are just the flag bearer. You know they go to go sign something. You say, don't sign this. Then the majority say, no sign. Then the people, the APC party, they say that they maintain no more for protect for manage information. You don't manage information at the detriment of the nation. This is not only about the APC party supporters. It's about the nation. Una pass the end and pay to the end. Una the fall and no more. It is una. Say the blind lead the blind. Una know who's going to be the go. Not to know. Now they can't say we say, oh, because I be the leader. Of course, when I be the leader, so anything we talk una for Falagram, there is an agenda behind this where some of we they read outside the box. If APC don't agree say this is 10-year business, then life are we. It not will ever happen. This is not a 10-year business. We will not get agree again. This is not the 2007 or 2012 where they be talk say some man they anticipated at 10-year. No. There is no 10-year business again. I will make sure say this not happen. For make it not be arrangement say we will go into bed arrangement with SFP say 10 years after this after that. No. It not will happen. So now that the division don't there greatly, of course, are the people in the talk but Samura and docile guy. Everybody gets by nature. That is nature. But that's not for preventer for effect. And again, both Samura and the APC left a vacuum where they begin a number one and a split don't take for the way in the debate and split for talk for them. And the worst of it, the vacuum what they don't left, they don't talk to the people left. And the vacuum what they don't left, the so-called way they call them bloggers, where they been given a right, now the Constitution 2022, make them they don't able to stop it again. And they're not able to come that door for even can talk say or press release say no, nobody I know they talk for me. Or this person know they talk for me. Then let them open. Now they don't take over the party, they don't take over everything for talk to people there. So it is not good for the country because people there when I put that president there say they want to be president. But you don't, they know they talk nothing, next year they happen. How you go and be president where we know they see people them where for come and try for attack issues, for talk on issues the way eminent for the country, for generation yet unborn. Then the people in there they said, well, they really talk. This is the worst thing ever in history of what don't happen. Would they see them, other countries them? Look, Uganda, that boy when I be just a singer, musician, they up and down the street.
Bobby Wine.
They talk. Yes, that's the one. They up and down the street, they talk about issues. We on the persuade to go. They know they see the most side apart from what they say in the big dance. They go to the beginning of the beginning, but you see what the president, they need to talk.
Okay.
It's not about Samura, this is not about APC.
Okay.
It's about the nation.
Okay. I think you make a couple of very, very brilliant points. Honestly, a couple of very brilliant points. And I think this will go down very, very well. Especially the one we may pick up. I pick up quite a few and they resonate well. But the one I pick up most is it's not only about the political party. There's a responsibility and an obligation for the nation, for other people. Not to everybody in an APC or SLPP. You get people who belong to other party or just ordinary Sierra Leonean. So there's a responsibility on the part of the APC. But before I let you go, based on them fine points there where you make, I wonder whether I can, ticklish you small for see whether you get any proposition in terms of solution or which you anticipate say for happen or go happen.
Yeah, like when you are talking just now, like continuous fact, nothing not to stop them for effect. They can do their administrative work, they can do anything they want to do. They can do fundraising, they can do registration, you name anything that they're supposed to do, they can do it. Of course, Samura Kamara was a flag bearer for this election, and that is why it's still on the pipeline effect for us. And even if Samura not be there as flag bearer, he can still take over this fight. Anybody can take over this fight. Because as for the election, not the APC effect. APC are just the beneficiary. If they return this, they are just the beneficiary. The poor people are suffering, like in the suffer. And that is why when things that they unfold, then things are waiting happen. Feel sorry for them people there. People that will just go make sure say people that will come for check waiting they happen for the AP implementation. Everybody get right for go any side of that country for say I go protest, make a demonstrate say and we vote. So when we don't come to, we still not forget to, we still want to listen. That was why people are going. Nobody forget any other.
Okay.
Go for many people and say the people that still not forget it's their votes them.
Okay.
So make the try to see how they get a food. However, this will affect alongside, or if they want to go on the anyone they feel say they don't want meet with Samura, it's up to them. As long as they for the people they own stolen elections, that make it not appear like say na 10-year agreement they don't go on to.
Yeah, okay.
They find it like a or push or chameleon, but maybe if we need them back, if you not tired of it, we need them back for the talk because if you want to talk, just like everything.
Okay.
Talk.
Okay.
These are things that they need for address the people. If not every weekend, every fortnight, they will come up and tell people say that something we don't do, something we do, something we can do, or we don't say. For the uplift the people, for the uplift the people, for granted that they do any kind of thing when they say the people will not turn them.
Okay, Mr. Masari, well said, sir. Really appreciate your time. Many thanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. You want to participate in the program?
Yes.
Yeah. Will you confirm your name and where you're calling from, please? And the floor is all yours.
Constantine is calling from the Washington, D.C. Good afternoon, Mr. Prince.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. It's been a while, but it's good to hear you. Yeah, I mean, you need to turn down. I think you watch something else. You need to turn the volume down to 0, please. Yeah, and then the floor is all yours. It's good to hear you.
Can you hear me now clearly?
Loud and clear, brother.
Okay. Mr. Prince, to me, lots of things not for you since now people are not for you.
Please do.
To me, yeah, all this is nonsense. All this is not such a nonsense. If you look at the last year, economically, putting the country don't lose based on this so-called election.
Okay, I think we've lost.
57.
Yeah, go on. We can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Yeah, 57 years, 57 since independence. We have wasted time. We have wasted energy. We have wasted everything on so-called people with them. Because what benefits? There's no benefit. This is all nonsense.
Yeah.
It's such a nonsense. The last year, alone, $1 billion of the economy from the last year alone. Nonsense.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Concerned caller. I guess. I mean, I have no doubt that the point where you make it very critical and you know want upset citizen, because of all this way you describe as nonsense, and not think say many people then will disagree with you. The country just lose and lose and lose. But definitely a solution will have to be found for let we move forward. But the question where we get now today is this issue where they cause this thing where you're so upset about. One of them, now the current leader of the All People's Congress, Dr. Samura Kamara. So when they ask a question as how we understand them from the outside, it seems like confusion is ongoing on leaving and not leaving the position where he hold. There's confusion ongoing. But we know say now, the deputy leader, Chei Koko, just resigned a few days ago, which means that Dr. Samura Kamara, the #1 man and the leader, and we Yaya Tunis on this very platform say it's time for Dr. Samura for go. So they ask the question, is he being treated fairly? That's one. And the second part of the question is it time for Dr. Samura Kamara for bow out and gracefully for the matter?
100%. Dr. Samura, this is the second election. Dr. Samura is step aside. Dr. Samura care about the so-called APC party or the country. He should step aside and let someone else jump in and move on. Still twice.
Yeah. Anyway.
So that is the point.
Okay.
Number one, he is still twice. So what is the point? Number two, we are wasting so much time. I want to go about this waste of time again. Because if you look at the Trapalta Commission or committee, whatever the hell you want to call this very thing, number one, it is founded based on constitutional needs. The parliament, the Sierra Leone parliament, never voted to authorize this so-called commission. This so-called commission was populated by an outside entity, sponsored by an outside entity, and the spokesperson for this commission also an outside entity. This is not about Sadun. How many of the small political parties involved in this process? How many non-profit organizations for Sierra Leone involved in this process? How many Sierra Leoneans involved in this process? It's just a nonsense on the unitary system for them to bargain with each other and how they will correct more election for the future. I'm just sick and tired of the whole politics nonsense in Ghana, to tell you the truth, my brother. It's just a waste of time. So they're going
okay.
We're putting a committee on our economy.
Okay.
How much? Over a million. When the last time I put any commission on economics. People that suffer for watching at the election. No one's election that benefits you.
Okay, Mr. Cho. Okay, concerned citizen, many thanks for your contribution. It's only because of time, and I get few other callers the way they call. But I'm airing the program shortly. I go really want to talk about the thing the way they affect the economy, and as a consequence of the action, the way they go on. So yes, there have been few other calls we need for respond to, and let we see whether we're able to pick up another call. I believe we missed about 3 calls while these people been there on. Hi caller, I shall say you want to participate on the program. If you can say your name and who say you call from, please.
Yes, good evening. The name is Delvin Thomas. I call from Bangor, Northern Ireland.
Bangor, Northern Ireland. Good evening to the great place of Bangor. You're welcome, my brother. The floor is all yours.
Thank you. Head on to what you just last say Cherry Coco resigned from the party, which links to your actual topic itself. Is it time for Samura to step down or bow out? Well, that is factually incorrect.
So just a quick one, not from the party, Darwin, not from the party, his position as number 2.
Right. Even within APC, Cherry Coco did not resign. If you look at our constitution, his position as deputy leader and that of Samura as leader ceased to exist in December 2023. So there's nothing to step down from. The only thing Cherry Coco did was to physically hand over his keys. Now you can ask a legitimate question, should Samura also hand over his keys to his physical office? And I would say yes, because he is no longer the leader of the party. He is still the flag bearer, but he's no longer the leader of the party. So the question itself, should he step down from that position, which I assume you mean by the leader of the party?
That's correct.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to even send a resignation letter. Based on our constitution, the position just ceases to exist.
Yeah, anyway.
Yes.
Anyway, if I can just take on you on that quickly, because this is the confusion with the public domain. Yes, according to the constitution, the position ceases to exist, but there are circumstances, there's a gray area. So that has not ceased to exist, and that was clarified by the public secretary to the party just a few days ago on this same platform. Because of the circumstances, one is protesting that the elections has not ended, so therefore is still occupying this position in the fact that election results are still being contested by Dr. Samura and co in behalf of the APC party. And that's the confusion now between the executive, where they don't have conversation with now private, where now don't come in at the public domain, because I think the time is up.
It makes sense. It's like saying the elections are not over until they are over. Constitutionally, it doesn't make sense. Constitutions, by their nature, are blunt instruments. They do not have gray areas. So when you look at the 2023 election, what the Constitution says is, even if you are in court, you have petitioned, after 6 months, it ceases to exist. Now, the fact that Samura or whoever is saying, well, I don't accept the results, well, our Sierra Leone Constitution gives you a pathway to petition. But we did not go down that route. They had the reasons why. The fact that somebody says the elections are not over does not constitutionally make it it's not over. Our constitution is clear. The Sierra Leone constitution is clear. Nobody, as far as I am aware, in terms of the party, is fighting for the 2023 results. The party, based on what Samura negotiated and signed, we are in a different phase, and that phase has nothing to do with results. We have committed the party to a tripartite agreement, an agreement for national unity, which was negotiated.
That is the official, you're talking about the official position, correct?
Well, it's only one position. There can only be an official position. What other position?
Yeah, there is no, I mean, the issues are contentious, and I believe me and you know this. We can decide, to say that the party, and this is my position, by the way, but to make the argument, I know that there are two sides to the story. There's an ongoing position in which the party is split. It's ongoing. We can make not to believe that things are, fine and rosy, but there are two things ongoing right now. There's one side that thinks, no, it cannot be. Yes, in our mind, and it depends on who is.
No, but my argument is not about the party being fine and rosy. We all know the party isn't. It's fractured. But my argument is there's only one party position, and that party position is the party position given by NAC, led by Kailu. That is the party position. Any other position is just hearsay or something else. But there's only one party position. Political parties do not have two public positions. They have one. And as far as I know, and what I heard Kailu say at the Women's Conference, he clarified what the party position is.
Okay. Delwyn, hold your thoughts right there. So first of all, political parties do have a single position, but there are times in their lifespan in which they can differ, and the positions become two, if not even three or four. But then they seek to resolve it. And this is similarly what is happening. Remember that this ongoing conversation has been going on privately within the party, while all of this rumors, just like you see here, they say was happening. But Dr. Samura did occupy a significant position and continue to occupy it. The party executives have taken a different view. Even before they came public, the publicity secretary did confirm that they've been having ongoing conversation privately. But now it's time for them to come out publicly. And the reason why is because it's not going on, the way they expect it to be amicably with him. That's why they've come out publicly asking him that he needs to go. But then again, that implied that there are ceremonies to be performed. You still occupy the position. It might be symbolic, but before you leave, these ceremonies are very important. So yes, it ceases to exist. It's like the president being sworn in, inauguration, all of this, it completes a process. So the process is incomplete.
But my question would be, what would be the process? Now, in my very layman's terms, I have expected Samura Anna to have had a press conference where Samura
exactly
the party.
Exactly, I agree.
But again, those are not written in our constitution. It is a nice to have. If you are going strictly by our constitution, Samura doesn't have to say anything at all. The party doesn't have to say anything at all. The position just ceases to exist. But the nice to have is both of them sit and address the public. Samura thanks them, Kailu thanks the public, and we go on our merry way. But because of where we are in the party, because it is so fractious, all man is afraid for talk. These things don't come out, and the public perception is wrong. The official party position, without even Kailu or Samura saying anything, is that that position no longer exists.
Okay.
And that is the party position until they change our constitution.
Okay. I appreciate the...
But
yeah, go on.
He's still the flag bearer of the party until we go into convention. He's a flag bearer without an election to fight. But he is still the flag bearer because there is some misunderstanding around that as well. But as far as I am aware, he is still the flag bearer until we go into convention in 2026.
Okay. Point well taken. Many thanks for the call, Derwin. Yeah.
Absolutely no problem at all.
You're welcome. Nice. Yeah, welcome. All right. So that again was another good call. Many points addressed there. But one or two things I must say is, as I understand these things, the law can be wrong. Let me just repeat this. The law can be wrong. That's why sometimes they do make amendments, because when it gets to be challenged, depending on the context in which it happens, and somebody takes on the law, okay, then it can be proven that it is not right in its applicability. So let's take, for example, I could give few examples, but the one closest to me now is a law that's 1,000 years old, that's not applicable today, but there are circumstances that exist in which that law is applied to victimize a person, an individual or persons, and etc. That law can be challenged. And why is it that the law is reversed? It's because the law is not perfect. It's the law. Yeah, it's open. It's an open thing. So yes, it is written, and that's what we go by. But this is the very reason why we go to court, to challenge the law. Okay? Let's say, for example, the recently held election, not recent, it's over a year now, but the last elections, okay? What process have they applied? It's lawful. Was it right? That's what's been questioned. And to right the wrong, that's why we had to go to the Supreme Court to make the arguments there to, that what was applied, to prove what they said they proved, to be the winner, and etc., wasn't just right. And these are some of my arguments. It's technical, and I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to go deep. But what they did was the same constitution that the last speaker spoke of is the ECSL is responsible to pronounce the election's results. That alone has given this man extraordinary power. And this is why when a president is elected, they do appoint somebody who is more favorable to them, who they prefer in such a position, because they can then use the law which favors them, which that person can interpret in favor of the person that appointed him. The same thing is similar of the anti-corruption boss. The president appoints the anti-corruption boss, and they have a closed session in which they call it declaration of assets, just between the two. So you see how corrupt the process is? But sometimes by law design, this is what it says. But these processes can be challenged by very good lawyers who can prove that no. This is not what it says. This is not the interpretation, or it is faulty. Something needs to be done. And if a good argument is made, such laws can be reversed, amended to reflect justice. I think we have another caller. Let's see. Hi, caller. You want to participate in the program? Yeah, hello, sir. You want to participate in the program?
Oh, yes, I'm actually participating, and I want to join in again. Hello.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So once more again, you can give your name and who side you call from, and you can go ahead with what you want to say.
From London,
yeah, go ahead, please. James, you need for turn down the program. Turn it down to 0, please.
What I'm trying to say is, I was watching the program continuously, and my man is just talking on electoral justice.
Yes, sir.
And with electoral justice, where do you go to get that justice?
To the courts.
Exactly. Do you go to public opinion? Do you go into international community? They have their own jurisdiction. The only jurisdiction in the Republic of Sierra Leone is the Supreme Court. So why did they actually fail to go to trial of the rerun or whatever malpractices of the 2023 election to the Supreme Court? That's what I want to understand. What other justice do they require?
They will be the best. They will be the best themselves, Mr. James, to answer that. But I will attempt, here to answer that. And many thanks for your second contribution, sir.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome,
brother. I'm enjoying it all.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. You're welcome. So yes, that is the point. So the whole election with constitution say Mohammed Kone now in get the right. Any other person will pronounce results. Not only pronounce, but we pull like way APC pull RRF forms. Those forms are null and void. They have to be accepted by the ECSL. In fact, the ECSL get their own copy now for pull up. So APC been just the attempt for cajole the ECSL for address their concern or for take the bait. Say, well, look you 75%. Yeah. What do you say? But you see, ECSL say by law, but we not get any right, here for do this. By law, now they get right for pull waiting and pull for make the pronouncement. This is what it is. That is why they should have gone to the court. And because the law can be funny, can be interpreted in a different way depending on who that they in power. This is why the law itself can be wrong. Just for speak to me, brother, we last speak just now. So people are not going to stop for continue for going to court for continue for make the argument. It's a dynamic process. It's an ongoing process. Sometimes it's straightforward as we understand them, but no, it's not. It is not. So 30 days demand they not pull that result with the Sierra Leonean people they expect. And all they go by, Mohammed Konen and get right for column. The Public Election Act we say we foretell how the conduct of the election resulted for pull and other than best practice. And not did it. And una for forgive me, maybe me next show, I go get a section there, where they so. There were people who advised APC and other political parties them. This Public Election Act, there is a reason, first of all, why they introduced them for reform them, for amend them. There's a reason. This was all part of the rigging process. APC acceded to that inside Parliament and signed off something with it to their own disadvantage. So, like the brother say, Konotri, I understand your frustration. It's not you alone. There are many other people who are frustrated. They go through all of this. They allow all of this. And this is who I disagree with my good friend George Orwell. Because you go get for allow the ECSL for do similar thing or even not similar because you're going into the future. So then they plan something different. But then you have to be prepared. Say this is not going to happen again. And you're not going to be the same way. I get for find another way on how to attack this issue, on potentially waiting and go on for due. And part of this conversation, when they get so when a tripartite, there is an understanding that enough is enough. Marabio is not going to be running for office. He potentially will, which is like breaking all the rules of the game, crossing all the red lines as per the moral guarantors, the conversation the way they get. Because they will have told him, this is what's going to happen. Well, yeah. Because remember, Marabio begin for challenge the people. Una de interfere by my country in sovereignty. Remember all that thing, so you can make people away come, here for backup because yes, there's an element of interference, but there's a reason why, because then they use the soft power, money, where you need for your elections, and other areas there are people that they call, we need for boycott IMF. Who are those calling for boycotting IMF at this time? No, it's opposition people who are disgruntled. But then you only want for suffer the Salon people there because where is the preparation? I remember saying, Marab, you'll be called for the same thing where they under pressure because you won't get anything for do with the international community because they put up under pressure in terms of transparency and accountability. Something we promised the Sierra Leonean people there. Yeah, bread and butter, new direction. Where are they? But then the question here today is about the All People's Congress. Dr. Samura Kamara still continue to occupy the position, and the position can cease to exist. But when it ceases to exist, you have to do a turnover ceremony. There's a ceremony. Yeah. Then officially everybody knows that your term, your period has come to an end. This is what the ceremony is about. Yes, on pen and paper, the position is stopped from existing, but you can still hijack the position. And we know in this period, not to be normal period at all. Based again on the election circumstances, these are all facts. The election results are being contested. Up to this day, APC not agree. Now, recently, before the executive, they come out, and what have you, I think because they don't have this conversation, it's like the need for move on. So gradually, you hear people and begin to talk about 2028. But even though he will not be in the tripartite document, where you hear people and they talk about a rerun because there were expectations, and some public officials them, and they talk about opposition people, they continue for the full young people, they give them that impression. Some people and also Ashobi and all, just for add a light humor way there. Something we're very serious that this is going to happen, but gradually the truth is it's not going to happen. I've said this over and over. The only way how Mother Beauty come on power before 2028, and this is not something I'm calling for, is the usurping of power through some unconstitutional means. Other than that, constitutionally, the man is there until 2028. So it's advisable that all this energy where people they put towards, oh, no, we're not going to take them. But of course, we're not supposed to take them. But how prepared are we for organize and say, well, we will fight for our democracy? And also we see the few people that we turn up, where the moral guarantors then turn up. Apparently, people that we go for protest, but inside that protest, they, of course, you begin hooligans, then they miscreants them in the day. We always wait for such opportunity. But we see the APC call the police, for try to provide security, and people were arrested. People were arrested. And as I understand, up to now, they have been detained. But eventually, they will get all of them off. But the ruling party will always want to send a message. So they will hold their people and they beyond the required constitutional time. Their constitutional rights will be abused. And no APC lawyer now will go fed for them by and ask here for some sort of compensation or some sort of in terms of apologies to people whose rights as citizens have been abused by the law. Because why they can get away with anything, and the party we're supposed to hold them accountable will not, because they are in cahoots, in tandem. They work with them. Because again, power will switch at one point. Because remember saying a duopoly now we get. If not to A and B, two cheeks of the same backside. So they will come. And probably now they sign some of them, then law there. We eventually favor the party in power, but gradually that party in power will fade away. It take 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. They will fade away. The other one will come, then will apply the same law, and they perpetuate themselves in power, squeeze other people and probably a potential third force. Yeah, these are realities. This is why we should be thinking, in a higher kind level, in a 10-dimensional chess way. But no, we still think bottom and politician, the way they're ready, they give people data money, they give them one bag dress and one t-shirt. But that same argument, protest, so-called protest, where they talk about where the justices then come, you hear it clearly in the audio or video, people then talk about t-shirts and cap, same mentality, 20, 30 years from Sheikh Stephen instead, t-shirt and cap. They talk, oh, then they shape t-shirt and cap. So that's why some people are there. Can you imagine? 8 million plus some more people, 2024. Yeah. So politicians then continue to exploit them where they are. And they feel the way they make, like say, then sabi them, pull them in, pull them in, shut up. Because once you begin to eat some of the crumbs, or you begin to eat the baking proper, then you've got no more voice. They're all two, they do that. They're all two. APC, SLPP, two cheeks of the same backside. Yeah. When does all this end? It all depends on the people. Let me see a few more comments, because the game don't go too far now. Mr. F1 watch the game. So let me just go through them quickly. So we get George Orwell. The reason for my opinion is based on the fact that the same ECSL, yeah, it is true, the same ECSL is going to conduct the election, George, but the same way I said earlier on, for let APC lose this time, it will be of their own stupidity, their own mess, their own ignorance, their own arrogance, their own unresponsibility and obligation towards the young people and understanding the reality. Because, of course, they should have learned now. Fool me once, yes, that's understood. Fool me twice, but you're not fool, man. Legendary. The party executives called for protest days before the election. Samura call it up. Yeah, this is the point, Legendary. I'm beginning to like this guy. These are the things that I'm talking about. So you be not noticing and they cheat you, and the things that we're supposed to do. Now, for use you agency in you to your advantage, but you never did. Anytime where they try for organize something like that, then you turn out for be, the diplomat, the man will not go able for kill fly, but you want for lead a potential political party with millions of followers in a country. I mean, that just wouldn't work, especially when your opponent is determined at all cost the power, he not give up power. And he tell we publicly, he tell you say go give you 2 uppercut. Will you not be prepared? But when you come, you threaten. When you threaten, then you not act. So Legendary, good point. Yes, there was supposed to be a protest that the people go show, say, the way how this thing they go. No, this is how you apply pressure. Pull you people them out. But you never did. Now you tell me X, Y, Z. I'll see what Mr. Mansari say. Yes, he definitely was thrown under the bus because they left him to fight. That is not a nation fight. Okay, I believe what I talk about, something was supposed to be a national fight, they left him alone for Fed defense. But now because they be suspect either in term London or as usual undermine them because some people let me feel saying that then they found make flag bearer. So instead of them lend support to them as a part and parcel of the party, then decide for undermine them because we also get that tendency and that mentality in us. And the same thing happen now. If not to me, before that, let them take them. So in other words, if me not be the flag bearer, let SLPP rule again. Same thing like SLPP, I believe. So yeah, so that's Bengali again. You will take off that shot just now. So I think interesting. Conotry, the cost of our economy over the so-called democracy and election is immense too. Much resources or time wasted. Why is the Uni-Party holding the country hostage? I think that's a very, very good question. You man ask. Really a good question, and that's Conotry. And I think say one of the the concerned caller from the US, they emphasized that point there. So yes, the country they lose. And it could be a deliberate ploy on the part of the opposition. Opposition parties do this all over, but they also get for a fine balance. Because what they also they do is then they suffer the people. But you they suffer the people, it call application of pressure so that the people then will react towards the people when they govern them against them in your favor. So you apply all the pressure and they make things not work. But so far, the other man on double down is still there. Mr. Mansari should we call now? Okay, yes, he's already called. Yeah. Okay, Conotry, sorry, Prince just pissed off. I do understand, yes. I understand the pissed off, brother. We all pissed off. Just that, in the public, we try for maintain some dignity and respect. Legendary Mr. Krumah, the first day of the dialogue, the former VP of Gambia made it clear that she's not here for election to run, and yet Osama went ahead and signed. This is true. Then get people in from the inside. Some people in privy then have consultation with people already on the inside. That Osama refused for go ahead with this rerun agenda. There were people who want the rerun agenda, but this conversation, this tripartite hotel arrangement. He said no. So why now when they come on now for can't be fully people then? You see, this is the point. We cannot be carried away with this, and some of us will not tolerate this because for public record and where we know, and Lily are inside and where we know, this wasn't part of the agenda and it's not there. So rerun, and this is not the thing. So if Dr. Samura they talk about rerun in that capacity, they as leader and flag bearer of the party. So for say, yes, technically, the position cease for exist immediately or 6 months as implied by the constitution of the party. But if you not relinquish the power, like I said earlier, there is a ceremony for show say, yes, this has happened. If it not happen, technically you still occupy the office. And in this occasion, yes, he does. He still does occupy the office. And the current executive, in person of the publicity secretary rather, is on the record clarifying that he still does, and he needs for move away, so we don't begin a conflict. A few people have called me and send me messages. Oh, the man not to leader na how you call a flag bearer, and the flag bearer position and go now until convention and what have you. The same mix up box up disinformation and misinformation. Moriba Kone. Okay, this one is new. Lies upon lies. What is killing APC? We all saw the campaign and we all know the voting pattern of Sierra Leone. How can you win election when you could not make any inroads in your opponent? Yes, I think that's a good point, Mr. Moriba Kone. Although, and I hear this argument all of the time. The only thing I disagree with is the way how people can put them as if the APC not be able to win anything inside the opponents their stronghold. No, there was intimidation, coercion, looting, arson, and in some cases death inside the southeast, because APC had inroads in the Kailang, Pujenhu, of course, because the party itself in power was divided. So it's in a use na coercion, and it's well documented by the EU. It's well documented by the State Department. It's well documented by Irish Aid, the Carter Center. And we need to look at these documents. This is where it's coming from, not hearsay and they say. Thank you very much for that contribution. Legendary again. The moral guarantor recently advised the APC party to prepare for 2028 elections. This is my position. We need to move forward, because if we don't exist, exhaust, we appear like say that not the case. Everything was supposed to do, and when they see the national executive of the opposition party, where they represent the people of Salone and other opposition party, then the factor way at the conversation where they all have been to money, we emanate from the tripartite, then they say now it's about 2028, small and normally begin to inject that into the public domain. Then it's about 2028. But you get other campaigners, and these are facts, and we need to understand these things, how we carefully manipulate our way around this. We really need to understand this, that there are people who are hell-bent on 2023. There are campaigns that says 2023. I'm not faulting them per se, but they need to explain to the Sierra Leonean people, not only that the fact that the votes were stolen, but how do they make how do they practically do things for change that situation there, for turn things over upside down? And I always say, the reason why, like my last call I've been to talk about the Constitution, exactly the reason why the US ambassador outgoing at the time asked the Marabio government for withhold the elections results, not call them, because there's been suspect say it not be right, the circumstances not be right, then it's still the count while the man and prepare for can call election results by parts. Never before seen in the country, not even under Siaka, probably Stevens. Now, because once you set these things, once you begin to say these things, you begin to pronounce them, you begin to set into motion constitutional instruments which are hard to reverse, because they create a constitutional crisis in the country where people are beginning for challenge, and the country they stall. And imagine a country where people and they suffer already, they buy bankers 1 million where minimum wage now 500 or 600,000 at the country. How you they pay picking a school fee? How you they buy uniform for them? Yes, they say they get free education. Well done, but we also know say people that take today they pay school fee, and they pay transport for them, picking them and feeding them. The idea is there's a mismatch between the wages, the national wages, waiting people in the earn, incoming, and waiting the outgo. So therefore, they always get for see cut here, put here. Okay, that's Brother Delwin from Bangor. Many thanks for the call earlier on. Konotri, the so-called international community is the US and Europe, ECOWAS and African Union accepted the results. Even the West accepted it. they just reject the process election and score on our P. Absolutely right. That's such a great point, Konotri. Yeah. Moriba Kone, what is your proof that 250,000 people struck off the voting list are from the north? I will say not all of them from the north, because of course, the implicit thing about this entire exercise is try for cut down the voters them from the north. But for not make them that obvious, you therefore include people from the south. So if I say all of them from the north, I think I misspoke, but the vast majority, huge number of them was taken away from the north and then blend the rest from the south, southeast, northwest, just for making like say, well, we're doing all of this exercise. So, but good question, and I hope I answer that. Moiba Kone, you people like to your gullible supporters that you won the election, but you never went to court to prove that. This is the thing. This new English where we learn. Your gullible supporters, of course, you don't put me in place now simply because I'm making a general argument. Yes, I am of the opinion that you not go to court. I still hold APC responsible. The place where you should have gone to talk about this, if you didn't feel aggrieved so much, so strongly, was to the court. And you not go to the court and that play against you that even when the moral guarantor they come, it's like when they complain, but you've been dependent on them. There is nothing supreme more than the supreme laws of the land. So, Mr. Conner, that's my position before you begin. Tell me, any gullible supporters. Many thanks. Moriba Conner again. Only APC supporters said the election was rigged. Not only APC supporters. I don't know whose kind of cloud way you live in. Go read the State Department report. Go read the EU report. Go read the Carter Center report. Go read the Irish Aid report. Go read the UN report. Read all of these reports, and you will be making, statements where absolutely preposterous. That's the only way I can describe them. Konotri, Mr. Prince, gold is 2,700 an ounce. We will prefer a policy on how to extract it to benefit our people. We can use the gold for our federal AM foreign reserves, peace, security, and prosperity. So probably we need for joint BRICS then. I think that's the answer to that. Joint BRICS, and maybe what you say will make sense. Moriba Kone, manage information is nothing but lie. Manage information. I don't know what Mr. Kone mean by that. Then we cannot hear the caller clearly. Okay, sorry about that. APC Moriba Kone. APC lost the election because of Mami, cost, and tribal bigotry. Okay, I see Moriba Kone in line of thoughts now and exactly where he's coming from and who he is. You're not making the issue here is you're not making any constructive argument, which is what we are looking for. If you understand, of course, you're entitled to your views and an opinion, but we look for something more constructive, something more thought-provoking. But you're so one-sided and so arsenic. Konotri, the so-called international community is striving to look at what they are doing in Gaza. Okay, with war crimes and no care for international laws, for humanitarian laws, all BS, all distractions. But I can't agree with you more. You are absolutely 100% right. So they're not even pay attention to me right now. And this is why certain things, some leadership, they understand this and they can get away with that. 2, international law, which came out of the ashes of 1945 after the Second World War, the principles of human rights, the Geneva Convention, the Convention Against Genocide and things like that, where they develop, again, because of the people that way they do unto another people. These people are looking completely on the other side where genocide is being committed, crimes against humanity, deprivation of food, drinking water, energy, medicine. These are all humanitarian law which have been violated. The ICC, where they bring up again as a consequence for try people and way they cause them problem there, humanitarian crisis and a violation of their law. Then, you know, ever since the chief scribe Karim Khan asked for a indiction or indiction, some people them call them, for the leader of the prime minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, is still the dragon. Yet Putin, they don't kill over 50,000 people. 90% of them, women and picking them. 50,000 people. This is not the official version. But the most respected British Lancet, a medical journal, say the death toll with people that we left under the rubble, remember say over 70% of the housing stock is destroyed. So then they put the death toll at almost 200,000, 186,000, I think that the number that with the British Lancet, a medical journal respected for how you call transparency and accountability. That's what they're saying. I can get people that we can say, because I'm critical country, just like what you say about the West, 5-6 countries they call themselves international community. And some of the application of the law, them humanitarian law policies and what have you, disadvantage, you know, where they can use against we. So they can say, me, I'm anti-West, simply because I'm making a constructive argument and I don't know, I'm not there for momo thanky, you know, because everything that I work, everything that I ask for, I work. Yes, you make the provision for me. Thank you very much. But even when you can't school now, they ask you for being critical in your thought process. That's one of the things that when they ask you for doing that. But then you get people that just because you're being critical, and you say black people, and I will tell you this, but I'll leave this for another day. But you make quite a good point. So because of Israel, they compromise all them principles there where they bring about after World War II, saying never again. So Putin, like I mean, say, he not kill all that number. He not picking the night pull come out. Now war zone, pull them come out and can them go to safety. Yet then charge them inside weeks and serve indictment. And say he guilty of, you know, abduction because now the law not apply for now, even though the law not correct. Yeah, but let's see how the law bias. Now we don't kill 50,000 people. Yeah. 90% women and picking them, toddlers, everyday people, and they pick them up by parts. Nothing. Let's see how upside down. But very good point. So what are they doing? Still on with Memchoko not resign. So probably you don't read something else into this, but my understanding is he did resign. He did hand over officially the keys. So like you say, if the man have been the number 2 man, have been the deputy leader of the party, and then is the position stop for exist. How you call them? Right after election done. Right after election done. So yes, that's waiting to happen now from that point stay on is he's no longer the leader of the party, but it has to be made known through some program where I think say I see this being ten. Like I say again, the publicity secretary was on. I go listen to that tape again. He said, look, Jerry Coco just resigned the other day. So I don't know what the brother is saying that this man not resign. Yeah, or probably they get another name for him, you know. Maybe they get another name for that. I'm not really sure. Instead of resignation, maybe something else. But it's now all the things then where they permeate the air. So let's see whether I'm able to share an article quickly with the brother as I see him. Let's see whether I'm able to share an article quickly with the brother as I see him. So bear with me. Bear with me 1 minute. This is important because the brother keep going on and on with he did not resign. So there might be some technical side of things we're making it say so. Yeah, we're making it say so. But let's see, what does it say here? All right, I don't know if you see this. So if you look, this now there are so many articles. This is just one where I'm able to pull up quickly. And now one of the formidable online paper, then a Sierra, how you call them? Sierra Monitor. And then you get Sierra loaded. You can see the headline. I'm not able to read through the story, but Cherry Coco steps down as deputy leader of the All People's Congress. Yeah. 2 major online papers articulate this. And these articles were on the 11th of October. On the 11th of October, 9 articles there then come out. So I really don't know why the brother they say it is not true, but probably I know he's well versed and read. Maybe he's got a reason why. I might speak to him later and ask why he thinks so. Okay, Pambolem, I think so. We come to the end of this program now. The comments and then so many, I appreciate them. I'm not able to continue with all of them, or I will just rush through a few quickly. I will send you a DC hat. Get rid of that Philly hat. But not jealous me hat, not jealous me hat. Come on. Yes, I got it from, was it Philly? No, I was also in, what is it called? Not Philly. I was in Philly, but I went elsewhere. Rhode Island. I was in Rhode Island, and I think I got this off a store or Walmart somewhere in Rhode Island. Yeah. Anyway, if you look at any election in the world, the flag bearer usually resigns after losing the election. Well, yeah, exactly. You're no longer flag bearer, and this is what you need for resigners. I don't know more that they will make this argument when it is simple and straightforward. All in newspaper they say, Cherry Coco resigned in position as deputy leader. This was around the 11th of October. Now it's like, no, he did resign. So where are we reading all these things from, or who are we listening to? This is the problem. So the flag bearer, especially 2 terms, 2 terms, you're done. And the Constitution says that after 6 months, it is over. Yeah, but this is like 18 months, and we're still talking about this. So, country once more, Mr. Prince is the only position that Samura accept these results by going to dialogue, whereby they produce a document which he signed. I absolutely agree, and I've said this many a time. So all of which they're talking a complete waste of time. The man went into a dialogue with the international guarantors then pen out a document, and he attached signature to it, which means that he agreed to the document along with others. There were disagreements with the camps. I think a little over a week ago, I had Lawyer Kaloko, who was invited to the extended NAC committee, then at the National Advisory Council, where I believe is at the highest body within the APC. He was invited there during this deliberation. There are many things that they did not agree with, and many things because there were so many lawyers. So all of these things, we know these things, but for some reason, we disallow people and continue for arguing. So yes, you're right. He signed the paper. So if he signed the paper, you agree. Then out inside there, you don't go pluck something where resonate with the people. Electoral justice, which is a good one, but you don't have to be the one that ends the fight. Yes, you pick a good fight, but probably you will need to pass the baton on for somebody for continue that fight. That's just my opinion. Somebody else might be different. Can we please have a commission on our economy? Yeah, that's for another day. We will have a commission on our economy, and we will talk about unexplained wealth. For example, I can give you an example there. Sylvia Blyden, unbelievably, sent a tweet the other day talking about the First Lady of Sierra Leone, an accomplished woman prior to her becoming a First Lady. She's a proven millionaire, yeah, with properties both at home and abroad, and was doing well. Where we within no waiting at the thing. But this is just putting somebody in trouble because there is no 2 ways about it. Because in the end, if you've been there at the system inside the UK, outside the day, and if you get all the money there, like how Sylvia Blyden they say, then you go get for explain to the people of the UK, the government, the authority of the UK. And so you get the money there, you've been the operate with we, can't go into detail now, then go summons me by. Or if you get the money the day and they say if you don't get them before, somehow maybe Sierra Leone Commission will get for institute a commission of inquiry for look into unexplained wealth. How you manage to get at this money? Of course, if you want to know about the money there, follow the paper trail. Thank you so much, Mr. Mansare Jr., but you cannot go to the court when you don't have results to present, as there was no results being gazetted. This is the problem, and I hear somebody make the same argument, and I think, now what a man. Listen, in my humble opinion, and we can argue about this, and maybe in the end, common sense go prevail. This was a big blunder, and the APC they try to cover through some public voices them and noted voices them, saying results not been there for Keguna Court. Do you have to have the result for Guna Court? So when you go to court, not only the result you can go when you go contest. Now, because you don't have the result which you determine, say, you're not right, you're not correct. Yeah. Or the one way the man pull out, now you can go and go contest. Say, you're not right. So this excuse here to me is meaningless. It's cheap. It's a cheap shot. And not being a result, this, that. No, there was a result here. And you contest the result. So that contestation there, now you can go to the court. Say this marry this result, we contest this result. A complaint, now you go lodge, and the complaint will be lodged. And then look into them. What's wrong? So let we not follow this line of thought, because this is laughable in my opinion. Say there was no result for Keguna Court. No. That's no excuse. Country, we cannot even produce ballot papers in Sierra Leone. Country again, a junior, more reason you should have gone to reason first. Exactly. But this is the new line again for continue for full people there. Now in the non begin a pull. So results not be there. If result not be there, so why you not going to court and say, but when the results and compare, because the Supreme Court can compel the ECSL for pull the results, but you didn't go there and they give you 7 days by law. Yeah. If you cannot contest the result within 7 days, as from today, let it all be done and dusted. The president is the duly elected guy. That is it. You may not like it, but you miss a chance to court. Mr. Mansari again, they have been released last night. Okay, I guess now the people that will be arrested. Obviously, they will be released gradually because the mission is accomplished. And not be one people come out, and can disturb peace and what have you. And I can say this. The APC is now one of the biggest parties in the land. They're able for organized protests, what they call civil disobedience. They don't need for go broke shop, broke house. The country cannot even get 2 months of reserve, both in food and money. I mean, things them way, should there be a natural disaster? Should there be some confusion, something other than the normal? The country not able for exist for even 2 months. Can you imagine? So if you get civil disobedience, you, the party, if you really agree, if you really mean them in the interest of your people, then you call them out. We need for sure say, we need agree. People then come up from east, people then come up from west, and not even need for occupy central Freetown per se, central Freetown. Then for magazine, your turntable, how you call the place, Eastern Police, Shaka Stephen Street, Cotton Tree, and St. John. But just then outskirts, then nothing they come, nothing they go, Watakino they function. In 2 weeks, the country too weak, economy weak, the government they collapse. They collapse. No need for go fets. I mean, the gun them way they get, they can't turn up all the people, but all the time, fringe voices them, they call people, oh, now come out. Then 6 people, then come out and then they kill T, then die for nothing for them people. Then when last you send bad grace to them people and they where they kill so. Where sometimes the mama then not been the breadwinner for them. Come on, man. The APC infighting should not be ransom on the people and economy. Absolutely, it shouldn't be a ransom. Victor Fode, Mr. Prince, will you be in any way to help me have the Arsenal jersey you have on you? I will try to forget you, and this one a special one for me. Sometimes I will fit you, sometimes you too slim past me. But many thanks for that, Mr. Fode. It's good to hear it from you. Bangali Junior, Arsenal has scored chief. Oh, yes! I don't even watch the show. Thank you very much, Banks. Yeah, that's a good one. Beatrice Kanu. What evidence are they going to take to the court? My sister, not when they carry evidence go. Now case now you they care go. If somebody go thief na you house, where you go na police? Now police you go tell say they thief. Then police can na you house for can look for the evidence. Sometimes somebody bust you window and then the police come and see them. then they get footprint inside and jumping at the window. Not only they carry evidence go now, the police they come can look for evidence. Now similar way for this thing. Assuming the APC not get result, I mean the APC being pulled, your RF form. Why they not take a can go to the judiciary and go complain, say, well, look, we form them. Why the other one and then they pull their own or we contest the results? Let we left this talk and not make no sense. Other than that, people then will become a laughing stock, my dear sister. But good point, well noted. Legendary Mr. Kroma. It was Brian Hunt that first used the word electoral justice. Osamu Tifam for legendary. I'm loving this guy. I wonder who is he. I don't know whether I'm a man or woman. Sorry. Osamu should have called for sit-at-home protest for a week. This is what I'm saying, and the opportunity was there many a times, brother. If I don't call for a sit-at-home, since you feel say that they shoot people and kill people, when I excuse yourself, offend for say, okay, I don't want to kill the people there. But you get massive support behind you. You get the APC infrastructure behind you. You get the institution behind you. So you can call for that as a form of protest. Okay, una no come una see whether they go back for kuluna, but no, he never did. Instead, he continued for go on. And then he tell we meet the president. The man said he might the election, but when they call His Excellency or the president, they shake and they laugh, them bad laugh there. And he, please. Rooney B, this name look new and very sound good. The court system is compromised. They will have lost the case. If BO can steal the election, broad daylight, what going to court will have solved. We have a kangaroo court. I'm not going to deny that, Rooney. I do believe, yes, the court is kangaroo court, just like it can be in other administration then. Because of the power of the presidency, the court always they work for the Partisan power or the president power. So yes, the same is true of Marabio. But the idea is, now crystal ball, now we look and we're looking on, they already anticipate, say, yes, it will have against mind you. But what if the case been the day? Not to that same case, then now you take go cry to the international community and wait and ask you, so where you case? Because not only they can make the law and they can't overrule the law of the land. But sure enough, if you had a case there and there has been a case of injustice, you can show unto them and then go oblige for looking to them, because then there is something material to work from, from the courts. It was absolutely necessary that a case be lodged. So this is now the last one for tonight. Peace, security, and prosperity for our land and people. Wow, what a way to end the program. Famule Mateluna, thank you very, very much for tuning in. Just like the last brother said, Conotri, peace, security, and prosperity for our land and people. That's what we call for. That's what we expect. Nothing short, nothing more, nothing less. Just peace and security for our people. Una, thank you very much for tuning in. I'm not able to do a few adverts they will get, but if anybody interested in phones, modern phones, smartphones, from iPhone to Huawei to Samsung, all levels, please get in touch. The next program, I will try to put the advert there so people can see how to get in touch. Until then, I've been your host and presenter, Prince Samura Kamara. By the way, Diabo, una we work from them. Facebook, follow, like, comment. This time they make we forget bigger guests than the algorithm, they work in with favor. So please like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I really want to increase the subscribership. It not cost you any money, not the money I ask you for. Just subscribe to increase the number. Please encourage friends and family for do the same. This has been a Prince Kamara production then and now. Until we catch up again. Bye-bye.